One, notice my hair, have it all down. Yes. I watched something where I see this quite often when there is ghosts involved or something, or people want to scare someone, as if there was a ghost, and they always have their hair down. No, it's not made up or anything, and it's always in a white gown, in a nightgown or something, and barefoot, barefoot. That's important, barefoot. So I thought, I'll give the appearance of a ghost. Let's see if it will fool people. Because do ghosts like that actually exist? Well, of course they don't, right? Yet, who says I'm not one? Look at how the light is right back there now. See that? It's going right along with me. Well, anyway, I thought I'm going to make a video like that just because every time they do that, it's just it. I can't see how anybody would fall for something like that. Yes? Okay. Well, ghosts exist. No, they don't. Well, you believe in spirits. Yeah, that's something different. They never look like that. Okay. Do I even have a perception of what spirits look like? Sometimes, uh, sometimes it's not necessarily an appearance like in the physical with clothes, though. I'll tell you that story. Um, it's actually a really cute one. It has to do with children again. Yes, of course. It's more, there is a presence of what the station of the person was on earth. There is that. Yeah. So, and then I'm trying to describe on how Solomon, for example, presented himself. Yes. And I can never see the face because his head's always bowed. It's always down like this. And there is the his own imagination of his station per se that's been elevated on this earth, right, as a king, is there. Right? Oh, is it in a crown or no? It's in the way that he sees himself as being better than others. Yes, and that comes through. It's really interesting. There are others where when, for example, a suicide spirit, someone that committed suicide, presents itself, it's in a their presence is very humbled. Okay, well, but if someone bows his head, that's not humble. That's shame and embarrassment, and it also is a way of asking for help. Okay, but in a way that a suicide spirit does that, it's different. There's a true sadness that comes with that. In Solomon, it's just what a fool I was. Oh well, suicide spirits don't feel that way. Um, no, to them it is still suicide spirits are still wrapped in sadness when they haven't started to restore. Yes, it's difficult to explain, isn't it? But I've never seen a spirit that, male or female, or as it is there a gender there? Yeah, they do come through as one has to recognize them somehow. And it's usually the force. Women often are they challenge. They women spirits challenge me because I am a woman, and the male spirits they come more in the presence of strength. Yes, they do. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's hard to describe, but it's like with many other things. Once you get the hang of it, then it's just how it is. So, but I've never seen one show up in bare feet, nightgown, and their hair down like this. Yes, yeah. That would probably be a bit comical if that were to happen. And I test, so I'm not sure which play you're in, but let's get down to business while you're here, actually. So, but I always find that interesting. It always gives me a chuckle when spirits or ghosts are and then they're seldom friendly ghosts are depicted as their hair down like this, so they're not made up. It's all just so they don't have hair ties, probably. Okay, in a white nightgown. Why not pink or blue? Then I know if it's a male or a female. Okay. Barefoot. Oh, they don't have shoes in spirit world. Okay. Anyway, so I thought this would be kind of a little bit of a hoot, since we are, in talking about wisdom, right, in the Proverbs here. Anywho, and what was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah. She has passed the spirit world by now, too. I used to have a co-worker many years ago, and she had given birth to twins, but they didn't make it. Neither of them lived, and they passed the spirit world. She never had children after that. But her and her husband had a most amazing relationship. Yes, so they must have worked through it together. Yeah, okay. He brought her to work every day. He was already retired. She was close to retiring, but she didn't really want to retire. She liked working. And he picked her up every day. Drove her to work every day. Picked her up every day. And that man was never late. Never. In all the years that I worked with her together, he wasn't late one time. Wow. That's a man right there. Anyway, so it's interesting to me. This is not the first case per se, that when women lose children like that, usually it's not being talked about. Well, it happened a long time ago for some, but it's a bit of a sore subject. One doesn't want to bring up old hurt or this or that. But for some reason, she mentioned her twins. Oh, and I found that that's not the case. Every time I go, oh, tell me more about the one of your children that passed. What? How were they? And they opened up, loved talking about them, because they're not gone. They're still there. They're still around. Their presence is still there, because there is still a father and a mother on earth as well. Okay? Well, anyway, that another time. And it somehow came up that she had twins. I said, you had children? Well, I didn't know that. She said, yeah, they didn't live. I said, oh, what were they, boys, girls? She says, we're two boys. Oh, my gosh. She says, yeah. She says, I don't really talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's kind of a sore subject. And I don't know why. Anyway, so we talked, and I could feel this just sadness on how do you really connect to your children, love your children, when you had so little time with them here on earth, right? And then they go to spirit world. Anyway, so we had our little talk, this and that, and interestingly enough, a few days later, I was outside moving carts around, and there is these two young men who've gone, well, hello, guys. Who are you? And it turns out it was the grown spirits. They had grown. They weren't babies anymore. Of my friend I worked with. One was had a blue. That's what I'm saying. One had one presented the color blue. See, I have to say it like this, because it wasn't like he was. Even though my image is one was wearing a blue shirt and the other one was wearing a red shirt. Yes. It's not this is the easiest way to explain it, but it was one presented to color blue and the other one presented to color red. That would be the more appropriate way to say it. And so I had this little conversation with them. I said, well, your mom just told me about you guys. You know, how you doing? And they kind of said, well, we're doing great. And this, and I said, so how was it growing up in Spur? I said, well, because our parents are so united, we had a very easy time being in the right realm of love. Oh, wow, okay. So then, okay, so we were done with our little conversation and moment of, and I thought, well, am I going to tell her that or not? Should I tell her? I mean, is that going to bring up bad things or this or that? And again, so here I am now, right? And I said, you know what? I'll do what I always do. If there is a time where I feel this is the right time, this is like I got a cue here to say something. And sure enough, it did not take long. She mentioned something again because our door is open now about her little boys. Right? And I said, I have to tell you something. Would you like to hear it? And she's like, and here's the thing. For some reason, she already knew. The connections are there. Because I said, I have to tell you something. Would you like to hear? And she's immediately, what is it? Yes, I want to hear it. As if she already knew there was a message coming. So I told her, I said, what? I saw your boys. Your boys visited right here outside in the parking lot with me. And one of them presented, was like blue, and the other one was in red. She's, oh my gosh, yeah. And she named, I can't remember the names of the boys. She says, yeah, this one we had in blue, and that, and the other one we had in red. I'm not sure if when they passed away or whatever. And I'm going, oh, okay. And the reason, okay, so the one was in blue. The reason was the one was in red, because I asked her, I said, why was there red? And I get the blue, that's kind of represents the males, right? She says, because her husband's name was Red. Everybody called him Red. So they thought, okay, all right. So I told her what I just told you guys, plus a couple other things. And she was just, it's almost as if, even though she was a mother per se in the physical here for such a short amount of time, I saw a mother heart blossoming because of, they said that you and your husband had such a wonderful united love, even after this devastating loss, that they had an easy time growing in the right realm of love and spirit world as babies. I don't think I could have made her any happier. The next time I went to visit her, she pulled out all the stuff that she still had kept from the time when they were here on Earth, and showed me everything, and we had just an amazing time just talking about her boys. And she said, you have no idea how what kind of a relief and comfort you have brought to me with this message from my boys. Right? Yes? Yeah. Well, anyway. So, those are the real spirits. Yes? Yeah, not ghosts. All right. There. That's a beautiful moment for me, too. Yes, I love things like that. I do so much spiritual work with spirits that it's not always fun. So this was a really amazing encounter that I loved. And the perfect family. Yes, they were. They are. Yes. Anyway, so let's keep going here. In the book of Proverbs, and we are in 9. What a great way to start this day. I woke up a little bit, I don't want to say depressed, more vulnerable. That's what I like to call it. I realized I was very sensitive today for some reason. And I thought, oh dear me, this is going to be one of those days, right? Yes, where it'll be difficult for me to set aside all the pain, the hurt, the feelings that are coming my way from all over the place, not just the physical world, the spirit world. Sometimes I have days like that. And I thought, well, it is what it is, and I'll go with it. This happens to us as well. I talked about yesterday, or in the last video I made, on what is depression? God, what do these people have to be depressed about, right? When we're spiritually open, these feelings come to us so that we can digest them for someone else. Do you know what I mean? That's what a spirit worker does. It is what it is. It's not something, well, yeah, we can reject it, absolutely. But I don't do that because I have the strength and the help from spirit world to do so. So I do, yes. And here, spirit world, it reminds me of this beautiful, well, I'm talking here about ghosts and what do they look like? How do they present themselves? And this beautiful story of my friend that I worked with and her boys and her husband comes to mind. And here I'm telling the story. Now I feel this absolute happiness within myself over this beautiful happening. Oh, because I'm so good to say, no, don't ever think of me like that, please. To me it is, I'm just so happy to be the helping hand, number one, if that's what's needed. And number two, to be a part of that, to see that it exists. Do you know what I mean? Yes? Both worlds involved. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So, now, it's like, oh, amazing. I just worked through someone's physical, spiritual pain, not sure. But I worked through it. And I know that whatever I was woke up with, this vulnerability, has dissipated. It's been taken care of. It has been absorbed and righted and lighted in the atmosphere. It's gone. And wherever it came from, things are right there now too. For what? Oh, everything's hunking up to start restoration someplace. Yes? Yeah? Within that, wherever that came from. Isn't that cool? Well, just saying. All right. So, the book of Proverbs, wisdom as hostess. A hostess, as hostess. Wisdom has built herself a house. She has hewn her 7 pillars. She has slaughtered her beasts, thrown her wine. She has laid her table. She has dispatched her maidservants and proclaimed from the heights above the city, "Who is simple? Let him come this way." To the fool she says, "Come and eat my bread. Drink the wine which I have drawn. Leave foolishness behind and you will live. Go forwards in the ways of perception." Now, if I just take this as guidance of what I just related here when it comes to whatever I related, this is great. This is not bad. This is not bad at all. This can be understood in the right way. Yes? Okay. So that's not bad. Oh, there's again. She has slaughtered her beasts, thrown her wine. She has laid her table. Okay. But again, it's partially poetry as well. Okay, okay. And it's just weirdly portrayed. Just say it as it is. Instead of making all these secrets out of it. All right, all right, all right, all right. Against cynics. Oh, I need to listen to that one. Okay, Bruce, you're not a cynic. Reprove a mocker, and you attract contempt. Rebuke the wicked, and you attract dishonor. Do not rebuke the mocker, he will hate you. Rebuke the wise, and he will love you for it. Be open with the wise, he grows wiser still. Teach the upright, he will gain yet more. The first principle of wisdom is the fear of Yahweh. What God's holy ones know, this is understanding. For by me your days will be multiplied and your years of life increased. That's bogus. There's no way that wisdom can know that, or that, oh, just because you're a good person, your life will be prolonged. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I don't believe in that kind of jazz. So, it is as it is. So this part again, it's like, what? Come again? This is so... There is such a predetermination of what this is supposed to be doing in my head. Yes, this is not from the heart to mind. It is guiding me, it is influencing me, brainwashing me into a certain direction. And what is that? Of course, wisdom exists for everyone. Wisdom is not a separate entity. Wisdom is within us. Us what exactly? Our conscience. One could also say wisdom is our soul, because I believe that our soul is that part created within us as the image of God. Yes? Okay, that's me. Wisdom is not over there telling me what to do. I am not wisdom to you all either. Yes? No. I can just say, well, this is what comes from within me as how I understand it. But that's my wisdom for me, not for you or anyone else out there. Whatever I say, if it comes across properly, this and that, and people understand it according on how their spirit has grown, then their own wisdom will let them know on what is important to regard and what to disregard. Yes? Okay. For their own restoration path. Make sense? Yeah, okay. Are you wise? You are wise to your own good. What did I just say? A mocker, the burden is yours alone. I find that people who mock others are often deeply saddened, hurt, and embarrassed about things. Mockers, and mocking. The act of mocking is to keep a shell intact, where mocking is a negative thing for anyone. It's not. Okay, well, that wasn't. Why did you say that? That wasn't fun. That's not. Why you talk like that? Why are you putting people down like that? That's not right. It's to whoever is the mocker wants a separation because they're afraid, oftentimes, to get further hurt. Yeah. So, if one gets mocked, I'm sorry, you must have gotten hurt and I'm sorry about that. I understand that. When you're ready to come out of that shell, then let's have a proper conversation about things. Done. Yeah. Makes sense? Yes. That makes sense to me. A silly woman apes wisdom. A silly woman acts on impulse, is foolish, and knows nothing. She sits at the door of her house on a throne high up in the city, calling to the passers-by, who are walking straight past on their way. Who is simple? Turn aside, come over here. To the fool she says, stolen waters are sweet, and bread tastes better when eaten in secret. But the fool does not know that this is where the shades are and that her guests are already in the vales of Sheol. Okay, well, alrighty then. A silly woman apes wisdom. My goodness, again. So, what did I say beforehand about mockers? Now, this is mocking women right there. The Bible's mocking women. That does not sound, to me, reading this sounds like a mockery towards women from men. No doubt this was written by a man, right? Yes? So, with everything that I've read so far in there, right from the beginning, now I have to say, oh my gosh, why do men feel so hurt that they have to put us as women constantly down? We got to be under their thumb. Oh, well, it's not always like that. Okay, listen, just, all right, in the majority. And now I have to be true to my word and say, wow, men really do have a problem. If you're thinking like that, if you think this sounds right, yes, then again, as women, how do we elevate our men? Well, yesterday, okay, I was reading all this stuff about the prostitutes, this and that. So, there were these chastity belts, right? Yes. I guess women had to wear them. Gosh, that had to be horrible. But anyway, and I'm thinking, why did the women have to wear those? Oh, it's just specific women, right? Yes. Yeah. Why wasn't there, wouldn't it be a lot easier for a man to wear a chastity belt? Gosh, women would feel so much safer if every man had to wear a chastity belt. Now, I guarantee you. And the only time that chastity belt comes off, right? Yeah, okay. Huh? Wow, what if, the brother system? Men would have the brother system. Go with me on this idea now. Where three of them. That'd have to be three. Two of them, no. One could be stronger than the other, and be good at manipulating and all that. So three of them. Three are like they would be considered their little group of supporting brothers when it comes to their chastity belt, and the keys would be in each other's, right. One would have the one, not, wouldn't have your own key. And then, right, as a group, you would have to make a decision on when that chastity belt comes off. They'd have to live together as well, right? Until the guys are married. Then the wife, of course, has the key to the chastity belt. Ha 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 ha. Right? Yes? Oh. So they'd have to live together as well. It would be a great way to raise men to become true men. I'm not kidding. And then, if one of the guys would come and say, "Hey, I really want to go. Can you take that off?" I said, no, that doesn't look like a good situation. What are you planning? Are you planning to get married and have children? I said, well, no, I just wanted to. I said, well, no, then we're not doing that. You get to take your chastity belt off tonight while we're all bathing, or one of us. Well, then yeah, okay. Isn't that something? And then eventually, as time goes on, might take a couple thousand years, the men would have been raised enough, their spirit elevated enough according to God's ideal, right, that they wouldn't have to wear chastity belts anymore. They would be actually the strong subject in a relationship, conjugal relationship. The proper behavior in the realm of love would be governed by men. They would be the ones now knowing when it is right and when it is wrong. Yes? And us women would be protected. There would be no more rape. Little girls or boys wouldn't be sexually assaulted and abused anymore. Huh? Men would stick around until death us part to raise their families. Wow, isn't that something? Well, there's a solution. I think someone needs to start making a chastity belt
A chastity belt.
for men.
Oh, that's a lovely idea.
Yeah.
I love you, Mom.
I love you too, sweetie.
Have a good day.
You too.
Your hair looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm pretending to be a ghost because that's always how they represent ghosts in movies and stuff, right?
Oh.
So I want to see if I come across like a ghost.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I too am a ghost. You just can't see me. I'm actually standing in the screen now. All right. Wish me luck. I gotta stop and get gas after work, so I'll leave a little bit later. But
Okay. All right.
I
I love you too. Bye, honey.
Bye, Mom.
Come safe home to us. All right. So that was the end of 9, and I guess I'm done talking here too. Well, that was fun. I like that last part. Yeah. Oh, men would never go for that. Why not? Why wouldn't you go for that? Why wouldn't you want better out there for all mankind? Just asking. Hmm? Yeah. Anyway. So, there it is. Hey, who says that wisdom can't have also ideas? Inventions. I wouldn't be surprised if someone were to come back. You know what? They already make those. It's just they didn't make the $1,000,000 they thought they would. Okay. All right. It's not really funny, is it? Well, I don't know how else. Can we stop all this nonsense when it comes to the realm of love, especially conjugal love? Such a beautiful thing, such a wonderful, beautiful thing. Yes, should be treasured. Huh? Our holy places, yes, our sexual organs, our holy places should be treasured, not given so easily, not abused so easily, especially in others. We would like that ourselves, for ours to be abused, right? Then we shouldn't abuse anybody else's either. Yeah. Well, anyway, so there it is. That's all I have to say this morning. Yes, I know this comes at the, yeah. All right, that's it. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you, guide you, yes, and embrace you with love. And I will talk to y'all another time. That was my tummy.